Hey folks, I'm sure you're ready for the season. You got that gun dialed in, got the bow tuned in, but let's make sure we tune into tree stand safety, something that's far too often overlooked. Matter of fact, of the reported hunting accidents each year in the state of Virginia, the vast majority of those are tree stand related. So Star City Whitetails has some critical information here, a couple good videos for you to take a look at to make sure we're all on the same page. I've also invited a very special guest to be with us here, and that's Dr. Glenn Mayhew of the Virginia Department of Game and Inland Fisheries Tree Stand Safety Team. Take a look.
Jeff, thanks for having me on Star City Whitetails. In this first segment, we're going to talk about some of the things you should be doing in the pre-season with your tree stand equipment to help make sure it's a safe season. Let's start out by thinking about inspection and maintenance of your stands, regardless of the type of stand that you use. First, let's make sure that all those connections are tight. Check all your nuts and bolts. Next, let's look at your cables to make sure that they're well connected and there's no excessive wear or excessive rust. Also look at the platform to make sure it's inspected for cracks or any excessive rust. Also look for missing parts, and make sure if you have a missing part that you call the manufacturer and replace it with a manufacturer's part. Lastly, and this one's really important for me, as I get older, I want to make sure that I have a comfortable seat out there for those long sets. So make sure your seat's in good condition. Next, don't forget to check your ladder systems, whether it's part of the stand or a separate strap-on type system. So let's check your buckles as well as those straps to make sure there's no excessive wear. If you're using a ladder stand, always make sure that all your pins are in place and that you haven't lost any during the down season. If so, again, contact the manufacturer. The most important piece of equipment you can take into the woods with you this fall is your full body harness. Let's put it on and adjust it to make sure that all the adjustments are proper based on your dimensions for this fall. Also, let's make sure that your suspension trauma strap is attached to the full body harness. Find your tree strap and make sure that you have that readily accessible. And also we're going to talk about the lifeline, and I'm specifically going to introduce that in the second segment. The last step you'll want to take is identifying your stand placement sites. From a safety perspective, two elements are very important. First, you've identified your stand location. Once you've done that, let's clear any debris and rocks from around the tree just in case you were to fall without being restrained. I hope you found these pre-season safety tips helpful, and please be sure to view the second video on safe use of tree stands.